That fifth defensive back position, with the rumors
lion.
going on, you just called Husky now the Lion.
Yeah.
How would you describe that position and where you want that to come from on the defense?
Yeah, so, it's a position where we call it a hybrid, where it's an athletic type safety, a big corner. When you think about the way the game is played in space, offense has kind of driven that, as you base out a 4-3, but as offenses from a personnel perspective and a tempo and the way they play the game, it allows you to get maybe a different kind of athlete in space, and so we use that position and believe in that, but it's definitely used situationally based on what we're seeing, and but that's the kind of guy we're looking for there, and it takes a unique skill set, you got to be able to do multiple things, but we feel like we got several guys on our team that kind of fit that spot.
The bull position, are you calling it something different here? Can you explain that as well?
Yeah, so we basically, the thing that I've found out pretty early being here was that, we got, our ends are pretty talented guys and can do a lot of different things. And so to me, we've just basically allowed us to train whoever's in that spot on the field, whether it's to the field or to the boundary, doesn't matter, then they'll be able to do those skills. So we're really not identifying that specific position here like we have in the past, but we got multiple guys that can do those types of things. Kind of, once again, some people might call that a hybrid spot,
right.
But with the talent we have at defensive end position, I really feel like that it allow you to really kind of be more multiple with it and not to be able to give away who that person is, because the offense isn't going to know.
Is that something that you've been developing over the years? Is that ability to play guys in a hybrid role and kind of the versatility of sub packages and things like that?
There's no question. I mean, you're trying to maximize your roster. You're trying to do a great job of, I've said, matching personnel and just doing a great job of being the most disruptive we possibly can. And I think also it's trying to involve as many players as you can. You get different unique roles for guys, and it helps create the buy-in, for different players on the field. And in this day and age, the way rosters are managed it's different. And so I think it does help. And also it shows, position versatility for the future. It gives them a great opportunity to show they can play in multiple schemes at the NFL level, and that helps them to increase their value as a player, and I think that really helps in recruiting as well.
Tom, James talked about the transition from head coach now back to defensive coordinator. So you're still blowing the whistle a little too much.
Yeah, so now he comes in and he makes me take it off and put it in my pocket, and I'm so trained to blow the whistle as the head coach. I've done that the last 7 years. Because I remember one time he said, "Who blew the whistle?" And honestly, I didn't even realize that I blew the whistle because I'm just used to doing it. So I got to take it off, because if I got it around my neck, I'm going to blow it. So, but we've laughed about that. I think I kind of ticked him off the first time it happened, but it's okay.
Yeah, but in all seriousness, that transition now to defensive coordinator, how's that been for you?
It's been great. There's just so many things that you don't have to deal with when you're not the head coach, and so it's kind of refreshing to be able to just focus on developing the players, build relationships with players, and just focus on the defense, the schematic part of it, the personnel side of it, just the film study. I can go in there, shut my door, and all the other stuff. When something happens, just pass it on to Coach Franklin. But that's just really what it allows me to do when I'm in this role, and I'm really excited to be back in this role. I really think it's kind of, really where my heart is, and what I really feel that, your strength zone is being able to do those things and build relationships with players and coach defense.
Your players have already talked about the love that you seem to lead with and the relationships you've started to create. Is that your part of your nature, lead by love? Well, to me, it's about relationships, and you got to build trust. And it doesn't happen, overnight. It takes time, and you got to spend time with it. And to me, I believe it's a huge part of my coaching philosophy, and I just believe when the players know you care about them way more as a person as a player, I think things can go to a higher level for them on the field as well as off the field, and I believe in that. And that's one thing I do feel like by not having all the head coaching responsibilities, I have more time to do that, and I want to do that, and I will do that, and there's no question that I think that when you can capture the hearts and minds of a player and of a young man, I think you can help him become special on and off the field. That's what I want to do.
Tom, what have your early impressions been of Tamir Robinson, both as a player and person?
He's one that's flashed. Matter of fact, even today, I thought he stuck out. He's making plays, especially when he runs the alley. And I think his confidence is growing each day in our system and learning the things that we're doing that are different. And but to me, it's his ability to track the ball, strike and finish. He's got long levers and he can run, and that's a great quality.
Tom, generally, how important do you think it is to have positive habits in building a successful football program? And then specifically here at Penn State, how have you seen that kind of emphasis?
There's no question. I mean, I think it's the key is what can you consistently do on a daily basis that allows you to become elite and special. And so obviously I walked into a situation where their practice habits were set. I mean, these kids practice really hard. And, I noticed right away, when your best players are running the ball the best in practice and working the hardest in the weight room and doing all the little things right, you have a chance to have a special group. And that's what they've established here. And that's a credit to Coach Franklin and the previous coaches and the current defensive staff. And so, but that's there's a standard here that's been set to how you're going to play defense and how hard you're going to play. And we talk about, I had the players say, what would you guys say is the standard of Penn State defense? And they came, the first thing they said was effort. We're going to play really, really hard. Number two is just toughness. And you see it. You show it how hard we practice and how physical we practice. We go live a lot here, which is, it's what we do, and it's a physical, even before we even got pads on, it was a very physical mindset. And then the last one is we want to finish. And they feel like that's kind of the thing that really sets them apart. So I've kind of taken those three things and really said, okay, this is what we've said, this is what the standard is. And I would agree with it as I've coached against this program in the past. And to me, I want to make sure we build off that and we uphold the standard of Penn State defense.
How has Abdul's transition gone?
It's been good.
I wanted to ask about his versatility. How important is that to what he's trying to do here?
I would say, first of all, you can see each day he grows in confidence in playing that position. And I think that that position flexibility, he kind of magnifies that, and I think that's going to be big for us in situational football opportunities for as well, third downs and in certain, places on the field. And what he can do as both a rush defender as well as a guy that can play in space and be a linebacker and do this kind of thing. So I think he has a special skill set. He obviously has a ton of talent, and he's practicing really hard right now.
Tom, one of the guys.
How have you adjusted to the talent on the roster here? Are there things that you wanted to do maybe in the past that we might see, not asking what they are, but things that you could do now that maybe you couldn't do in the past?
Well, I think there's no question that up front is a glaring, difference, and the depth of those guys and the amount of guys that have length and can run. And I think there's no question it allows you, probably to do some more things, without having to be as, I guess I would say about just taking chances per se, to be able to, a lot of times you had to do a lot of things just to create the pressure. You had to do a lot of things to be able to take some gambles to be able to get where I feel like you can be able to be, less in that regard, which is obviously a bigger picture advantage for you to be able to still get pressure and not be able to, bring six guys, and so, but at the same time, we're going to adapt to that. I think there's also an element of trying to maximize the number of guys we have and play a lot of guys and give us that depth so we can be ready for a long season, which we want to be in that playoff hunt and that opportunity to get in that situation. We're just going to keep on playing more games than a college team has played in the past. So I think that's going to be very important too. So we have to adapt to that without question. But bottom line is you want to maximize your system with your roster and make sure we're doing a great job with that.
Tom, one of the guys said tackling, takeaways, and what Jay just said, effort, are your three things. Can you expound upon that?
Yeah, so I call that our DNA on defense: takeaways, tackling, and effort. And when I talked to Coach Franklin, even in this interview process, he said, "Hey, what's your non-negotiables?" And that's the first thing I said: takeaways, tackling, and effort. Because to me, there's really no magic scheme. The magic is in the belief of the players and the players' ability to execute the scheme. And they're the guys that make it special. So, but you got to tackle extremely well. You got to take the ball away. You want to play your defense, and you got to play with relentless effort. And I emphasize that. And we say we install those three things every single day: takeaways, tackling, and effort.
Tom, to go back to that line position, who has stood out to you that potentially has the versatility you're looking for to fit in that spot?
Yeah, we got several guys that are playing it right now. We feel like that Jay Reed is kind of the guy that's emerged, and but we also have multiple safeties that are able to be versatile in that role, and we're going to use all three of those guys that are in that rotation there, as well as AJ Harris as a corner as well, and Zion Tracy's another one that's been able to do a great job, and Cam Miller as well. So to me, you kind of have different uses for that position, and based on what we want to be able to do, and so having multiple guys, and that's been one of my goals this spring, is to figure out who are the guys that can do the things we need them to do situationally, because obviously you have base downs, you're looking for that role, and also in third downs as well. So to me, once again, how can we maximize our roster?
Tom, I remember back in December you talked about coaching at a school with such rich linebacker history. What's it been like to now be in the building and coach with Dan Connor, who kind of went through it?
Yeah, all-time leading tackler here, so just pretty special. Got a chance to meet several linebackers already and that played here, and they're just the pride, in being a linebacker from Penn State is an awesome thing, and just also the positive pressure to uphold that, and I feel that, and you look up there and you look at the list of names of the guys that played here, and it's amazing, it's awesome. So I want to make sure our guys that are in that room now understand that, and the guys that we recruit, when you come here, what the expectation is, what has been established as the standard for linebacker play here, and so it's been, it's a tremendous honor to be in this role as that position coach as well as the coordinator on that side of the ball. But at the same time, it drives me every day to want to continue to elevate, the play of our backers and the play of our defense.
Two more guys. Tom, are there one or two things about you, maybe even beyond football, that you want alumni and fans to know about you as the coach and the person?
I just care about people. I'm in this profession because of my dad, who was my high school coach, and I saw the impact he made on people, both coaches and the players. And I see the players come back, I see the coaches come back. And as I grew older and you saw the impact that was made, and that's what I want to be. I don't want to just be a guy that just teaches ball. Ball is awesome, and I want these guys to become great football players. But if that's all I teach them, I just don't think it's enough. I want to make sure that I'm doing a great job of investing in them as young men and helping them become the future husbands and fathers and leaders in the community and making a difference. Because football is awesome, but it only lasts for an amount of time, and it'll eventually end. So I want to do a tremendous job of making sure that they know that I care about them, I love them more as a person, as a player, and I want to do a great job of connecting with these guys.
You mentioned linebackers and being here. At Indiana, 44 was an important number. I think it always went to your will linebacker. Is that correct?
Well, actually, it was George Telefero was the one that wore it, and so it went to the individual who best represented his qualities coming as a trailblazer, being the first African-American to be drafted in the NFL, he came from Indiana. So, but Aaron Casey was the one who wore it my last year there, and he was our will linebacker and a special player, and came there and was developed. He ended up being first team All-Big Ten and All-American, and excited for his future.
Why is that position important?
Well, to me, the position for us is a guy that to me is really going to be in a spot to make a lot of tackles. Mike's the same way, no different, even the same. But at the same time, there's a lot we put on him to be able to, be the athlete of the group per se, and the way I view it, but at the same time, here you got a lot of different guys that can fill that role. And I want to teach our guys about multiple positions. I'm really big on that. I don't want them just be one. They should be able to have, versatility in the room. And there's a lot of carryover with the techniques as well. So, but Mike obviously, and I expect him to run the defense, and then the Sam linebacker has certain skill sets we're looking for as well. But to me, you have a high standard for the play of all three positions.
Thanks, Tom.
Thank you.